I've got some new Facebook ad format data that shows which Facebook and Instagram ad format produces the best results. And there are a couple of things I want to say about this data right now. Firstly, I was surprised by this data, and I've spent more than $100 million on Facebook ads. And secondly, the data on the best Facebook ad format has changed a lot since I last looked into this. So let's start by talking about where I got this data from. And this data actually comes from my audience. I have the largest YouTube channel exclusively dedicated to Facebook and Instagram ads, and by a long way, so it's a really good place to gather information and data from other Facebook advertisers. I also have the largest Facebook group exclusively dedicated to Facebook and Instagram advertising in the world, with more than 250,000 people on it. So I get a lot of great information and data from my audience at this point, and I regularly poll my audience on YouTube. I somewhat recently asked them which was their best performing Facebook ad format, and let me show you the results, okay? So we got just under 3,000 votes, a pretty good sample size there, and I gave 4 options. I gave video, image, carousel, or other. And you can see here that video is by far and away the ad format that is most likely to perform best for people in my audience that responded to this poll, with 60% of people saying that video was the best performer. Image came in at 27%, carousel at 9%, and then other at 4%. Now, one of the things that's really interesting about this and the data and the responses I got there is that I asked that same question of my audience a couple of years ago, and look how it differs. So if I jump to a very similar poll that I ran literally 2 years ago, but we can see that video, instead of being 60% of the time, that being the best performing ad format for the people that responded, it was 44% when I did this 2 years ago. Single image was 38% at the time. That's now dropped to 27%. Carousel has dropped a bit from 14 to 9%, and other has remained at 4%. So you can see that during that 2-year time span, we've seen a really significant shift away from carousel, away from single image, towards video. And that might not surprise you watching this. Perhaps you see similar data in your own ad account and you know other advertisers and you think, yeah, that sounds about right. But I did find that surprising that we've seen that larger shift in that shorter time period. And when we compare this data from the more recent poll to our own internal data, it is very, very similar. So where we've got video 60% of the time being the best ad format, image 27, carousel 9, other 4, that is very close to what we see internally. And we have more than 400 ad accounts as part of our business manager, where we're managing campaigns at this point. So from that alone, we get a lot of data that we can use to draw conclusions, help make decisions, improve results. And by the way, if you would like to be one of those 400 ad accounts with our business manager and have us create, manage, and optimize your ad campaigns, there is a link in the video description below. You can click on that, come through to a page on our website, book in a free, no obligation call to find out more. So if that sounds interesting, go ahead and do that, and hopefully we get a chance to work together. Now, the really interesting thing about this data being so close to our own internal data, I mean, we're 1 or 2 percentage points, I think we're 58% on video as opposed to 60%, slightly more on image, otherwise we're basically the same, is that I really didn't expect that, because videos are much harder to create. As a fully fledged agency, we have video editors and we can put together, really good quality stuff. We do this all the time. But I know a lot of people in my audience, a lot of people that responded to this, yes, there are large companies with like the resources to be able to produce high quality video, but a lot of them are going to be freelancers, they're going to be solo entrepreneurs with a whole business to manage. I didn't expect them to be able to produce, to be this video heavy. I thought they would be more leaning on images because they're much easier to create, and a poor quality video is not likely to perform as well as a high quality image. A high quality video may well perform better than a high quality image, but do you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to do video ads, they need to be good, otherwise they're not really going to work. So what that shows me is that Facebook and Instagram advertisers have now caught up to the fact that video is a fantastic ad format, could well be the best performing ad format for most businesses, is the best performing ad format at this point. And they've decided that even though it is difficult to create, you've probably heard me talking about it for so long, that it may well be worth doing, investing time, resources, getting external help potentially to produce high quality video ads. So I was surprised to see how much it shifts that quickly. I was surprised to see that our own internal data matches up with this almost exactly, and it shows that people are doing the hard work that is required within the Facebook ad space, which is fantastic. And there's some other interesting things that we can think about when it comes to taking a look at this Facebook ads format data. So firstly, Video at 60%, you might think, right, it's all just video. I've just talked there about how good video is. We should only be running video ad format. And that's not true. There are still, in this case, 40% of businesses, and even with our own internal data where we can produce high quality video and do so regularly, like we have that skill set, even in that scenario, we're still 40-ish% of the time not seeing the best results through video. Don't just assume it's all video, don't use any of the other ad formats. You absolutely want to test the other ad formats because they may well perform better for your specific business. And this is really important because within this poll, there's going to be lots of different businesses. There's going to be e-commerce businesses and service businesses and software businesses and coaches and consultants and all sorts. We have to sort of differentiate when should we be using what ad format, what produces better results for certain types of businesses. And there's a general rule of thumb that I like to use here, and that's that the complexity of the ad format should match the size of the ask. So if you're asking someone who sees your ad to do something really simple, like buy an inexpensive product, like an impulse purchase, often image is going to be the best ad format because with an image you can very quickly and easily convey all the information you need to convey. Get one of these, doesn't it look good? Here's a discount, here's a special sale we're running, click here, go buy. Like, it's not difficult for people to do. The ask is very small, so we want a simple ad format. In that scenario, if you created a complex video that was 3 minutes long, people would not watch it. They would never make it to the end. They would never make it to the call to action. And you'd miss out on so many people that were just willing to click through and purchase. However, if the ask is something much more significant, let's say, for example, we're advertising our done-for-you Facebook and Instagram ad services, a really big ask. We know that that's often for the clients to work with us. The success of their Facebook and Instagram campaigns is going to be one of the most important determining factors in whether or not their business succeeds, whether or not their business grows. So it's a huge decision for them to decide, yeah, we trust Ben and his team with our stuff. We think they're going to do a good job and get better results than what we can. So our ads, if you see a lot of my advertising, they are more complex, longer videos because we have to do a lot more convincing in our advertising. We have to put in proof and testimonials and talk about the upside and talk about how much easier their life's going to be. And basically we have to sell more. If we just tried to use a simple image, maybe we could get away with that with retargeting warm audiences a little bit, but to cold audiences, no chance because there's just not enough convincing happening there. So yes, you are still going to lose people as they go through that video, a longer video, just like if you're selling the simple impulse purchase product, but the people that you lose were unlikely to be interested in such a big ask anyway, and you need the extra time to be able to sell people on the big ask. You still want to test, but that's a good general rule of thumb, is to match the complexity of the ad format with the size of the ask. Another thing that you might have thought going through this, particularly comparing the data from 2 years ago versus now, is like, okay, the trend is towards video. It's only ever going, in 2 years' time, it's going to be 80% video, and 2 years after that, it's going to be 100% video. I really don't think that's going to be the case. I think that what we're seeing now at 60% video, mixture of the others, is probably what we're likely to stick to for a number of years. I don't think it's going to continue being more video heavy than that, mainly because of what I just described, where I said, look, video performs really well more than half the time for a lot of businesses, but there are absolutely times when image is going to outperform, where carousel is going to outperform, where it's just really simple impulse product or like a lead magnet. So for example, my webinar ads, I run ads to a webinar, they are image ads for the most part. We have some carousels in there as well, but I don't think we have any video ads live at the moment. We've experimented with it. I don't think we have any video. I think they're image and they're carousel. You can go to the Meta Ads library and check this out and take a look. And that's because it's a simple ask, right? It's a free webinar. All you got to do is sign up for it and watch it. It's educating people about Facebook ad strategy. So within my business, we're seeing differences depending on the different offers that we're advertising. And I think that dynamic is likely to continue because if you're simple ask, you don't want to make people sit through a long form, complex ad format. Alongside working out which Facebook ad formats work best for you and your competitors, it's really valuable to know how your competitors' overall digital marketing is performing and which strategies they are using. With SimilarWeb, the sponsor of today's video, you can do exactly that quickly and easily. Let me show you how one of my favorite SimilarWeb features works. So I'm here in my SimilarWeb account. I've just come into the website analysis section, and here you can search for your competitors and find out some really great information. So I'm going to use my own website as an example, but obviously you could do this for a competitor. So I'm just going to put in Heath smartmedia.co.uk, which is my own website. You can see I've searched for it previously. Now, once I enter in my website here, you can see all sorts of really interesting information. Just imagine this as a competitor, right? So we've got total visits, that's helpful to know. Device distribution, you can see my website is more desktop heavy. Lots of great engagement metrics, how it changes over time, where people are coming from. So unsurprisingly for us, we're US, UK heavy, India's at the top of the list as well, not surprising. And then this is my favorite part, the marketing channel section. So you can see that we get a lot of our traffic from organic search and social. Neither of those should be very surprising because I produce a lot of content on social channels like this video you're watching right now. We also do a lot of advertising via Facebook and Instagram ads, but then there's also a significant amount of organic search because at this point my business has quite a lot of brand value. People know who we are, they're searching for the agency name and they're searching for my name. And of course you can dig into any one of these even further. A really, really useful tool. It's kind of like being able to look at the inside of your competitor's Google Analytics dashboard. Right now you can get a 7-day free trial of SimilarWeb using the link in the video description below. Now, one of the key takeaways that I want you to have from this video is that testing is really important. Yes, by the looks of things, video is likely to be your best ad format, your best performing ad format for your business, but you absolutely want to test the other options, because if you don't, and it turns out that one of the other ad formats was the better option for your business, then you're missing out big time. So absolutely make sure you test. And if you haven't tested video ads, you aren't using video ads, by the looks of things, it's quite clear you should be. You should at least be experimenting with them. Now, if you decide to do that, what you need to know is that the first 3 seconds, the hook of your video ads, is by far the most important part. You should spend a lot more time on that than you should on any other 3-second section within the video ad itself. I've created a whole video that shows you how to create video hooks for your Facebook and Instagram video ads that can really help improve the performance of those ads. You can go ahead and watch it here, and I strongly recommend you go through it if you're running video ads and want to improve them or are thinking about running video ads. Like I said, those first 3 seconds are the most important part. That's going to convince people either to watch the rest of the video ad or not, and if they don't watch the rest of the video ad, then they're certainly not going to find out all about your products and services and how fantastic they are. They're far less likely to click and they are far less likely to convert. It really is that important. So go ahead and check it out.